Chapter 27 includes a discussion on family theories. This presentation will have two main objectives. One is to identify various disciplines that combine to create family nursing theories. The other objective is to compare and contrast three social science theoretical frameworks nurses use when working with families. There are a variety of disciplines to pull from to view family nursing. The most obvious are the nursing theories or models, the social sciences, and psychological therapy models. No one therapy, and typically not one discipline, covers a whole aspect of care. We pull from a variety of theories to develop our practice. Examples of nursing models or theories that apply to family nursing include Betty Newman's systems theory, which includes the client's whole system, including family, or Imogene King's theory, which focuses on individuals' ability to function in their various roles, including the family, and her view is also an open system approach like Newman's. Examples of family therapy theories include systematic family therapy, experiential therapy, and a host of other therapies and models of psychotherapy. And finally, examples of family social science theories, including family systems theory, development and life cycle theory, and bioecological theory. It is from a combination of these theories and these disciplines that we are beginning to develop emerging family nursing theories. Let's talk a bit more about the family social science theories that we mentioned. The family systems theory, the family developmental and life cycle theory, and the bioecological systems theory. The families theory. The visual is to picture this like a hanging mobile that moves around in the wind. Think of a hanging mobile where when one piece moves, all pieces move. Everything is constantly in motion, and movement of one is based on movement of the other, or impacts movement of the others. Families are social systems. A system is composed of a set of organized, complex, interacting elements. The purpose of the family system is to maintain stability through adaptation to internal and external stressors that are created by change. Assumptions of the family system theory include family systems are greater than and different from the sum of their parts. There are many hierarchies and logical relationships within family systems and subsystems. Boundaries can be open, closed, or random. They can increase in complexity over time. Family systems constantly change. Change in one part of the family system affects the total system. Family systems are organized as a whole, so they are interdependent. And finally, family systems have homeostatic features, adaptive and maladaptive. Family systems theory encourages nurses to view individual clients as participating members of a whole family, emphasizing the whole, helping families to maintain balance and stability. Nursing assessment addresses the individual members, the subsystems, the boundaries, the openness, the inputs and outputs, family interactions, family processing, and adapting and change abilities. Interventions must build on strengths of the family to improve and support functioning at the individual and family level. The major strength of the family systems theory is that it views families from both a subsystem and a suprasystem approach. The major weakness of the systems theory is that the focus is on the interaction of the family system and other systems rather than on an individual, which is sometimes more important. Using the metaphor of the fish hanging mobile, think about how the individual fish move as the breeze blows. The breeze would be representing the stressors, good or bad, or how the dynamics change if there is a birth or a death, so if you add or delete or cut off one of these fish. The whole system is affected by what happens to one member. The next theory is the family developmental life cycle theory. This visual, which you are not really meant to read, is just to show a visual of the theory. It's a series of stages, developmental stages in this case. The picture is based on one theory. The one in your book on page 610 is a different theory, which is based on Duvall. The point is to visualize these as separate and distinct stages. people or families progress through one stage to the next stage to the next stage, rather than fluid and back and forth like a mobile is. This theory provides a framework for understanding normal predicted stressors that families experience as they change and transition over time. Families change and develop over time based on the age of the family members and the social norms of the society. They have predictable stressors and changes based on changes in the family development and family structure. Families experience disequilibrium when they transition from one stage to another, whether that's on time or off time, or as predicted or later than predicted, or sooner than predicted. Nurses can use these predictable stressors in their assessment to identify family strengths in adaptation to change. Nursing intervention strategies help individuals and families understand the growth and development stages and manage normal transition periods between developmental periods with the least amount of stress. The strength of this approach is that it provides a basis for forecasting what a family will be experiencing at any period in the family life cycle. So, for example, if you know your patient is a 25-year-old woman who just had a baby and her husband is over fighting in the war, the fact that she's a young woman with a baby is going to tell you a lot about what some of her stressors will be. A major weakness of this model is that it was developed at a time when the traditional nuclear family was emphasized. And although some progress has been made in looking at family life cycle theories in divorced families, step-parent families, and domestic partner relationships. A genogram is a great way to picture a large view of the family. When looking at a family in terms of a developmental stage, you look at the level of that part of the genogram where the family is at. This is one reason why creating a genogram, you should circle all the members of the household you are addressing. That helps the clinician understand who we're talking about in this picture. And then look at the developmental stage of those members that you're addressing. In this illustration, the bottom two rows are circled with one daughter left out, so she must be out living on her own. This is a family of two parents and a 22, 24-year-old daughter. So they are at the stages of families launching young adults. But if you had not circled the bottom two rows, if your patient in this genogram is the woman at the top where the arrow is pointing at the top, your patient would be at the aging parent stage, developmental stage. Note that there are several developmental life cycle theories. Duvall's is just one of the theories that we've presented. This is the one that's discussed in your book. But it is helpful to be aware of a variety of theories based on your area of practice, particularly, for example, if you are working in pediatrics, understanding the various stages of development of children. And lastly, we'll talk about the bioecological systems theory. And the visual for this is concentric circles. There are a variety of visuals of the bioecological systems theory and several different theorists building on the same idea. Your textbook addresses Bronfenbrenner's theory on page 611. The point of the visual is that there are multiple layers to individuals, families, and society, and that each layer has some impact on another. The various layers impact factors within each layer, so you'll see circles within arrows within each circle, and they impact between layers, so you see arrows crossing circles. This theory describes how environments and systems outside of the family influence the development of the family over time, the nature versus nurture debate. And this theory is very useful in community and public health nursing to identify the stressors and potential resources that can affect family adaptation. The family as a client is at the center, and the roles, rules, and norms that influence the current situation of the family are addressed. These different levels are called microsystems, mesosystems, exosystems, macrosystems, and chronosystems, and they are each described on page 611 of your textbook. The strength of this model is that it provides a holistic view of the interactions between the family and society. A family ecomap is typically used to graphically represent these types of interactions and the flow of energy. The weakness of this model is that it does not address how families cope or adapt to the interaction within these systems. And this is the visual of the Bronfenbrenner system. There are various levels. You'd start with the individual child, looking at the outside of that, how the child is impacted by families, siblings, peers. Outside of that, how the parents' work affects the child, the media, the school, neighborhoods. Beyond that, we're looking at the economic system, the culture for that family, laws, social conditions, things like that. Read page 611 in your textbook to see more examples of what could be included at each level. In summary of this discussion, remember that multiple disciplines can build on each other's theories to build family nursing theories. These disciplines include nursing, social sciences, family therapies, all working together. We specifically addressed 3 social science theories: the family systems theory, think about the hanging mobile always adjusting. Second, the family developmental and life cycle theory, think of a list of stages we progress from one through the next. And finally, the bioecological systems theory, think about the circles inside circles all impacting each other.